feedback from the seminar that we had in Cotton University was very useful because we were able to meet up with people who were really involved, engaged with the issue of recycling, of environmental questions. And I think here was an opportunity for people to share different practices and policies. And I think more importantly, we found is that there is a space for taking the conversation to the larger community. There is a space for taking this conversation to the institutions, working in partnership with all the other stakeholders to take this to the next phase.
So on the environment, really, we have to be individually concerned about it. And I am in the field of adult education, and I very much recognize or realize that adults don't learn easily. It's the children who can really learn. And so that's the best group, because children can influence even the parents to act in some way. So if the child is convinced, I think the family would have learned. I'm particularly impressed by this Mati group of films that they have been made, because I had no idea that this sort of work was being done. Yes, some field work has been done, but the movies are a great form of communicating, and I think this was very well done. I liked all the movies that were shown.
I think very good steps have been taken. Majuli, which is a limited geographical area, target objective I think is very much achievable and it is very much doable. And the kind of insight that the people who have come from Queen's University, I think they have understood the issues correctly, much better than many of people here. And once they have identified the issues correctly, and the steps will not be very difficult to design. So I would suggest that at least one module, one working space can be now created which is successful, and once that is done, it is the replication will be easier. So I am very much for it. It's very good. Actually, the people in the Western Hemisphere, they know professionalism, and we are a bit more emotional about Majuli. So emotions do not solve problems. So I think this will be a very good input from them if they can at least guide us. Do it this way with proper working parameters and with time frame. They are very sensitive to this time scale and specific things. So I think those things will tremendously help. The workforce will be from this place only. Their guidance in those areas. Plus, they have a better worldview than us.
The discussion has been really fruitful, and we have all realized problem is multidimensional. Use of single-use plastic, rampant use, and we have also seen that the problem needs multi-pronged approach. This whole initiative has been really wonderful. The way things are moving now, I can see that some solution for Majuli's problem is in sight, and what is coming out in the discussion today is that we now need to adopt an integrated approach to tackle this problem. And if we can do that, I'm sure we will find a viable, sustainable answer to Majuli's problem. So being at the focus of public attention in Assam, being a cultural heritage site, I think an example that we create out of Majuli will go a long way in inspiring others to follow suit Majuli's example. At the same time, as I said, there can be many ways in which these problems may be addressed. The one important way of tackling this problem is to reduce the use of plastics, and that can be done. And that can be done in a very sustainable manner and providing economic support to local people. And Majuli being a very well-known center of pottery industry, and the industry is now in a shambles. If we can encourage people to use clay cups instead of plastics and promote them and help them, support them to produce such clay cups in a sustainable manner, I think that will be a really good contribution. Apart from that, why not using, say, for example, bamboo cups? And Majuli's bamboo groups are in abundance there. Then jute, for example. So all these local answers are there for tackling this problem of widespread use of plastics. And if we do that, I think we also provide alternative livelihood support to the local people, and which actually work, I think, go a long way in motivating them to adopt what we are propagating.
What we're trying to do is raise the profile of Majuli, though, and we're interested and we want to promote Majuli as a World Heritage Centre. People need to know about it as a result. And so what we're doing is using new technologies to give people more information about the island. That includes the existing videos and drone footage that we've got, which is very engaging, but also involves doing 360 scans of the satras and the local environment so that people can put on a mask and move around within that digital space. And we're going further than that we are also identifying within the 360 scans artifacts which are 3D scans so people can look at the artifacts in more detail and get more information about those artifacts. So it's a multimedia experience really. Not quite as good as being there, but getting nearer to being there. And we think the more people know about Majuli and its fragile ecosystem, the more support we'll have to try and deal with that and make Majuli sustainable in the long term.
যথেষ্ট ভাল কাম কৰি আছে বেলফাষ্টৰ কুইন্স ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিয়ে ভৱিষ্যতে আৰু অলপ কন্টিনিউ কৰি যোৱাটো ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট তাৰ কাৰণে তেওঁলোকে লোকেল মানুহক ইনভলভ কৰাই মেবি আমাৰ ইয়াৰ লোকেল এনজিঅ'ক ইনভলভ কৰাই কামটো আগবঢ়াই লৈ গ'লে ভাল
I had a very good experience coming here because most of the time I'm thinking about environment and pollution and everything, and it creates a lot of anxiety in me, and today I came and saw people are taking steps and things. I'm really happy about it.
And I'm quite keen that we need to bring the biodiversity element along with the cultural diversity together. We have to integrate cultural hubs and biodiverse hubs together so that we have an integrated program towards a zero carbon footprint, not just for Majuli, for the rest of India and rest of Assam. It is about changing attitudes through increasing awareness, through providing them with the knowledge and also transforming their practices on a day-to-day basis. The values have to change. The values have to come from the home, has to come from the education institutions, from the satras, and it can roll out to the rest of the